Hello everybody and welcome again back to the channel. My name is Ran and today I'm bringing you a game of Domination. Bringing you this Baka Domination actually comes with a little bit of stress and some intent. Mostly because two of the people in this match, as you can see at the beginning, I had problems with. The reason why is because they were very toxic. They were very beginner. They didn't understand Dom. They were telling me things. Well, basically, they weren't really telling me things. They were basically just spouting what they thought was fact and what they thought was truth and meta. And I just knew from the start that it was not going to be a very good time with these two. In this match, we actually do a lot of things that normal people in Dominations never really do. So this is probably going to be another one of those type of more serious discussion videos. For Domination, it's very different. The reason it's different is because in Conquest you have a certain meta that's established by the MOBA template. To be more precise, the MOBA template being that you have to have a Guardian, or rather to go by it the way it should be, that you need to have a ADC, an attack damage carry. And you need to have a bruiser, which is an off tank, or a assassin, which is literally what is titled, an assassin, to burst down the enemy and attack them as hard as you need to do whatever it is you need to do. And you need to also have a burst mage or some type of support character that can support the team as well as everything else. And a tank. So, 5 classes, 5 roles, right? Right. Well, in Domination, people seem to assume that this does not apply to them because, hey, it's Domination! Which right there off the bat, we've got a couple of problems. Normally, the first case that people seem to assume with that is that they assume that because something is a certain mode, that it's not a real mode. Domination being one of those modes that people assume is not a real mode. The difference between these things with the MOBA template, as it is for most games, and how it applies to Smite, is that in Smite we actually have a very different template from Dota as well as from League of Legends itself. Mostly because of how ridiculous it actually gets when it comes down to everything. Oh, that was painful. But as you can see, Vulcan did not even pick up the kill on that. So, that's a GG right there. Which was one of the many things that told me they were not experienced. But, back to my point. My point, in case, is this. In Smite, we have more modes than anything else. And Domination is actually a rudimentary example of normal King of the Hill domination. You fight to be in possession of a thing, you defend and attack that thing as you need, and you try to keep it alive as quick and as well as possible. Basically, working with your team is more important here than anything else. But because people seem to assume that, oh, you have to attack the Sand Guardian and the people on the lanes in order to win, kill everybody on the lane, GG, no problem. Which is the biggest problem that comes to talking about Domination and its meta. Because so many people seem to assume it's one thing when really it's another, and they can't ever even agree on what the subject matter is itself. Personally, myself, I'm on the left-hand side of the argument. I know that Domination is a very unique mode in and of itself, and because it is a unique mode, it has its own unique meta, in the fact that you must have a tank, and you must have a carry. But whoever else you decide to bring for the lane are going to be the lane defenders and the lane cappers. Basically, the Guardians are the people who arrive to the lane to make sure everybody who's there is defended, stays alive, and continue moving. The Assassin and the Bruisers are the lane defenders and the lane cappers. Bakasura, in this example, would be a lane capper. He has fast attack speed, and his whole entire build, being focused on attack speed and penetration, makes him very powerful at killing people on the lanes. the fact that he can jump in, do damage, and get the hell out is what makes him so powerful, because he is a jumper. Jumper meaning that he's able to jump over walls, he's able to make dynamic entrances onto lanes to do things to do things that the other enemy couldn't do. In this case, what I just did to right lane in the video, I killed the enemy, worked with the team, focused them down, got out, went back to my next goal, which would have been defending metal, which we defended pretty well, as you can see in the next right now. Oh, if I only had the regurgitate. But as you can see, that is one of Baka's many capabilities. But yeah, assassins, bruisers, they're the lane cappers and the lane defenders. A good example of a lane defender in this case would be Artemis, because she is very good at fending off enemies when she's built with a Quinn's Blade and uses a fully leveled 2. And then of course you have the rotational defenders. The rotational defenders are normally either going to be the melee fighters who can cast out really heavy-hitting skills, or the bruisers and carries that are built more for AoE damage than they are for one-on-one damage. Apollo is basically built to be a rotational defender. He defends one lane, he defends it well, he still has mana and still has health to stay alive, and then destroys everything in the other lane. He gets up an ult, he drops on the enemy's face, he wrecks face, he goes home, and GG. No read. What people seem to assume is the meta of Domination is that as long as you have lane cappers and rotational defense, that's all you need. That is not true. The fact that it takes the understanding of knowing how to bait enemies into doing things so that you can work them to your advantage is something that not a lot of people understand and ever take the time to actually learn about. In this case, if we didn't have Vulcan there as a tank, I probably would have died. Fortunately for me, Fatalis' and its movement speed actually gave me enough time to get the hell out of there. But in terms of what I really needed, and you'll see it later, when you don't have a tank, there are many cases where all it would have taken is just one more enemy to pick up the kill, and you would have lost the match. But yeah, that's my point. Case in point. It takes a lot more than just all this damage and all these other things to make things happen. It takes intelligence and it takes competent teamwork. Like right now, he sets them up for the kill, I focus them out, I get out of there, and look who's here to pick it up. That's how that works. That's basically the key of what we call rotational defense. The fact that I'm able to heal up so well off of my own basic attacks is half the reason why that push on middle completely fell apart. But yeah, back to the match. One of the main reasons why I had problems with two people on the team was, again, they were new to Dom. And it may not be showing right now, but later in the footage it will. These start falling off soon because of our inability to pick certain things up. It actually becomes really annoying at a certain point because I end up having so much of a time and a problem dealing with the enemies that I actually have to walk away from one lane to go attack another, and then stuff happens. Oh, excuse me, my throat hurts. But yeah, that's basically one of the many things that tends to get on my nerves when people want to talk about Domination as a mode. Especially when people say, oh, I never needed a tank to win Domination, so you are a noob. That whole argument. That argument is so old, I can't even begin to tell you how many ways it's wrong. All I know for certain, more than anything else, is that whoever tells you this has never played a true balls to the wall, no stop, full speed, kill everything, kill everyone match Domination. Because if they did, they would probably be GG surrendering all the time. Because it is more than just a couple of things than anything else.
Retreat middle lane! Retreat right lane!
For example, what happens right here? Boom, dead. And look where all my team members are. Told them to attack right lane. They are sitting there fighting the lane defenders. Instead of going for the Sand Guardian, taking down the lane, or swapping focus from right to middle and pushing 4-on-1. Perfect example. This is what most people seem to assume Dom is supposed to come down to. It's not. Main reason why it does not come down to that is because of the fact that it is more than just that. A good way to explain it is like this. In Domination, you got 5 people on each team. Seeing as how there are 3 lanes, you gotta split up your team members at the start so that you can have a better chance of getting 2 lanes in your favor. Normally, the way that people started off is they either do 3-2-0, as in they send 3 people to one lane, 2 people to another lane, and they don't send anybody to the third lane, or they do 4-1-0, where they send 4 people onto middle lane and 1 person onto a side lane. In this case, it started out looking like a 4-1, but it ended up being an actual 3-2 because they rotated.
Nice job. Your team has captured the middle obelisk. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain.
In this case, right here, with this rotating focus out by me and Ares, which was a very GG on him, is a good example of how you split your focus between more than one lane. Now, right now, I have 2 choices. I can rotate with Ares and Poseidon to attack left or right, because they're both pushed. Or I can jump the wall and attempt to take right while allowing them to defend. But then I turn around and we ain't got nobody rotating, because they're all split up and no sense and no logic. This actually happens more often than not in almost all Domination matches, because people don't understand how to attack a Sand Guardian. For those of you who may or may not know how to attack a Sand Guardian, incoming fail by me in 3, 2. But for those of you who don't know how to attack a Sand Guardian, the way that you do it is you do not attack the Guardians. You do not attack the lane defenders. You do not attack the lane defenders. The people who are the lane defenders are the 5 other people on the other team. If it pulls the aggro of the tower, which the Sand Guardians are, they are a tower, because you have to actively push them with minions to protect you. If you have to do that, that's a Guardian. But you do not attack the lane Guardians. What you do is you go straight for the Sand Guardian, and you do as much damage as possible, and then you rotate out. You rotate out, and you kill them to the best of your efforts. The reason that you do that is because 2 things.
has been slain.
Again, perfect example of the tank not doing anything. But yes, you rotate out and you push the lane. In this case, I pushed lane on middle. I killed Kronos. While running back, I, in theory, get protected by my tank, who is defending the lane. But apparently decided to sit there and just let the lane die, which is fun too. Epic stare down. Nope. Super epic stare down. Yeah, this is basically what you do when you attack a lane. I harassed him, I made him back off, and now he can't poke me while I destroy his tower. And because I hit so hard and because I get so much lifesteal, he's basically done. And then he tried to tie that one up because I overshot it because I assumed he was going to try to do the no, I'm going to wait and try to hold it out so somebody can save me thing. But yeah, that's how you attack a lane. Simple, sweet, clean. Basically, it's easier to do when it's in a overwhelming number situation. One person attacks a person from behind or attacks him from the side, kills the defenders in any way possible. Make sure that they go down. And then the team, in theory, attacks the people on the lane, kills them, takes the lane. Like what they did to middle lane just now. That's basically how it's supposed to work, but that's not what happens in Dom. And the more often people do it, the more often I see it where they say, oh no, it's not our fault, it's your fault because excuse. Like right here. They take middle, but they had nobody defending left because they all went in on left, and I was backing. So, this forces me to have to go take right. And somebody after this match actually rage-tailed me, and basically blamed me for the loss of that lane. So, to compensate for the fact that we lost a lane that we should have had easily, I attacked this one. I take it down, easy push on her, and done. Again, that's how simple it is to attack a lane.
Team has captured the left obelisk. Please, you can't. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
Yeah, that's basically how that Dom works in a nutshell. There's not really much I can really say about it, viewing it. All I can be able to tell you for a certain fact is that when it comes to it, there are certain things that are just hilarious for the fact of them being hilarious. This match in particular, when I look back on it, doesn't really entice rage from me as much as it does funniness from me. Mostly because of stuff like this. See, had I not had Cripple, that should have been a straight up pull. But because of how much they've nerfed and slightly buffed Arachne and how much they've actually nerfed Bakasura, it hits me more as hilarious than it does as stupidly OP. Which a lot of people seem to do nowadays. Blaming everything to be OP rather than blaming anything on actual setups. And here at the triple cap, there's only a couple things that I can say, particularly to those of you who might be interested in playing Dom more often but may not know how to play it better. The first thing I can say is, if you're going to be a person who pulls an assassin, a bruiser, or a carry, you have to understand that you got to commit yourself to defending and attacking lanes at all times. Just defending, attacking, buying time, defending, attacking, buying time. That's all you got to worry about. The second thing you got to worry about is, if you're going to attack a lane, do not attack the Guardian unless they are very low health and you can afford to do it. Just go for the Guardian, so that when you die, your team wins. That's all that I got for today. For BonuStage Entertainment, I'm Ren, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody!